If you look at THP's thumbnails now, they don't advertise the states as hard as they used to.
No, they don't. No. And they don't use the exact. They used to use the exact OnX map of what they actually were hunting, but now you in the little bottom corner, it's whatever they put a little disclaimer. It's not the actual piece of public. They're actually.
I've found a handful of YouTube video spots, and I'm like.
I've done the same thing on.
Now I know
on Flush podcast or Flush. I don't know. It's a bird hunting thing. But I've found places to hunt at. And I've hunted places that they've named on their show.
I feel like we should have did the intro before that.
There is one guy on a big channel. Actually, it's a friend of a friend's channel, and he hunts in a piece of public down in southern Ohio, and he put the exact map, but it was like very zoomed out, and he zoomed in on screen.
Turkey hunting?
Deer hunting.
Ooh,
deer hunting.
Bad move.
And just so happened that I had already been in that spot, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of deer sign in here. I bet you they're bedding close, but I never gave it a second thought.
No.
And watching his video a year later, I'm like, that's that spot. And then he had trail cam photos of the deer in there, and he pointed to where they were bedding. I'm like, that makes sense. No. And there were some big public land bucks in there, and I was like, I'm not going to go to that spot. It'd be nothing for me to go there. I know exactly how to get there. I could walk.
It's probably all blown out.
On the phone, I could walk you guys to that hillside.
No.
But probably.
It's blown out.
I just need a 6 point. Just give me a 6 point.
Well, that piece down in the next county down where we did all the squirrel hunting and stuff, I know exactly where to get you on a nice little basket 8.
He was basket 8 last year. I don't want him this year.
Too big.
He's gonna be too.
He's too big.
He's gonna be at least 100.
Tough eating old buck. I don't want to eat that. Dude, that's gross.
He's gonna be 3.
Yeah. Ew. Flavor. Gross.
Well, Steve Renella actually
I seen that.
They did a segment on that. On a mule deer, didn't they?
Yeah. A guy in their group shot like a little forky mule deer,
and then he shot a
big mature one,
and they blind tested it.
They ate it raw. Blind test, he said most people preferred the older buck over the younger buck.
Yeah. And we've shot mostly older bucks for the last couple of years. I have, and I don't notice a difference.
I never equated taste. I always equated tenderness.
No. It's more tender or less tender, you saying?
I feel like the older the deer to me is less tender than the younger deer.
We dry age ours off the hoof pretty much.
Yeah.
So they're always pretty tender. I had a guy at work say that he'd never had a good venison steak, and it just so happened that I had venison steaks, so I made a whole bunch that night, more than I was planning on eating. And then they got back from a squad call, and I was like, hey, eat some of that. And he's like, what is that? And I'm like, deer steak. No. And he was like, I've never had a good one. And he had like he was afraid of it type thing, and put it in his mouth and was like real slow at first, and he goes, I'm gonna start hunting. He's like, this is good. I was like, if you take care of it from the moment you shoot it to the moment it goes in the freezer, it'll never be bad.
Like, I've noticed since we started cutting our own deer up how much better the meat tastes. Like, not saying our processor ever did a bad job. It's just we're taking care of it quicker and being more careful.
Yeah.
Than a guy like, I'm going to take my time and do one deer, then I got to hurry up and do 20.
Yeah.
And I've noticed the quality of the meat is a lot better since we started doing it ourselves.
100%. I'm going to jump into our intro real quick. We're going to keep all this in the podcast. This is a great conversation, and we'll get right back to this. But everybody, welcome back to another Field of Food Table Talk episode. We are on Season 5, Episode 3.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4?
Episode... See the thumbnail.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Very unsure.
And following our new format, the charity or organization that we're going to be promoting in this episode is going to be the Hunter Recruitment Project. That's going to be based out of, I think it was Georgia, right?
I can't remember where it's based out of.
Yeah, so it was Georgia, and it's pretty much, I'm saying it was Georgia.
It'll be Georgia.
But it is,
Georgia.
I can't find it.
It is for bringing new hunters into the world of the outdoors. If it's something that you are interested in or want to learn more about, which is maybe why you clicked on this video or you're seeing this on TikTok, go visit Hunter Recruitment Project. You can find it on any web search app that you have, and get your information, sign up, become a newsletter receiver, and just learn about how to get into the outdoors or help someone make that transition to becoming a person who likes to go out and hunt and fish and spend a lot of time outside doing the really fun stuff that we love to do.
Yeah. On that same note, have you ever, for the state lottery hunts, the controlled hunts, have you ever signed up for the mentor hunts?
Here in Ohio?
Yeah.
No.
I'm probably going to do it this year.
Are you?
Because of Brooke.
Fair.
She's never harvested a deer, so she's eligible to do the mentor hunts.
Yeah.
And I figured that would be a really, probably, from the people I know that have been out, like, they save, like, the pretty dense spots for that. So I'm going to see if I can't get picked for some of them.
Why not?
Yeah.
Is it still $3 to apply for each
$3 a slot, yeah. I didn't know this till yesterday, looking them up. You can go on there and look up the draw odds from last year.
No, really?
For a hunt.
Yeah, I have no clue about that.
That's got to be new, right?
That has.
It goes back. It goes back for like quite a while.
I've never been able to find that.
Yeah, I found all the draw odds.
So how bad are they? Because I've heard
there's a couple that are rough.
Yeah.
Like.
What are we talking here?
Camp Garfield, like 1 in 477.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that's not very good. And
then there's some that are like 1 in 12.
No, really?
Because like 100 people signed up and there was only X amount of hunters allowed.
Yeah.
So like, I don't apply every year for them, but when I apply, I'm going pretty much all in. Because since they started doing more long term, like, hey, you get 2 weeks here. And there's a lot of couple years there was early season, like September 1st, management hunts in like the metro parks. Yeah, I'm all in about starting my deer season a month early.
Yeah,
I'll go for it. It gives you the opportunity to shoot a velvet buck.
Mm-hmm. If you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've never done it.
You're not into that sort of thing?
Not really, no.
No?
No, because all right, it's kind of like, I don't know. In my mind, that velvet is on there to aid in the growth of it. Mm-hmm. What if there was another half inch I could have got out of that little tine right there?
Yeah. You're a piece of shit for this. You know that?
I'll take it. I don't care. No. The big thing is one, I hate dealing with deer meat in hot weather.
Yeah.
And if they're velvet, it's still probably pretty hot out. And granted, we have a good setup here at the house where we can hang it in that walk-in cooler and whatnot. Yeah. It's just, if you have a bad shot when the coolest temperature in the night is 70 degrees, then you're really pushing it. Like it's just not a good situation to be in. Right. But yeah, the idea of a velvet buck never really floated my boat. I don't know. For someone who likes squirrel hunting as much as you do, you're willing to sacrifice some squirrel time for a velvet buck?
I mean, like, the meat ratio is pretty neat.
I don't know.
I could shoot 6 squirrels today, or I could kill a whole deer.
Yeah. We were talking about deer meat, right? And then we got on our tangent. To start for this episode. We're pretty good for that on this podcast. So we're going to circle back to the deer meat. So we were talking about the tenderness of it and the older deer, which you were saying were a little bit less tender. So just as far as cooking goes, what is something that you guys notice to keep the deer meat tender in the cooking process?
I usually try to tenderize it a little bit.
Like with a meat hammer?
Nah, well, I got almost looks like a Wolverine claw and there's like a spring in it. Mm-hmm. So when you push down, like just a bunch of little prongs come out.
Yeah, okay.
So like if I'm cooking, like it works great. Like if you want to make a tenderloin more tender, I've done that. I tried that last year. I just took that, went up and down it a few times.
Yeah.
And then cooked it, and it was pretty tender. But then it's worked on works great on back straps when you kind of get like to the ends.
The tapers?
Yeah. Where they're kind of always a little bit tougher than normal.
Tougher, yeah.
You smack them with that thing a few times. It tenders them up really good.
I had a taper backstrap for dinner tonight, and I put it in a rice bowl. It's delicious.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah.
Now you got me thinking about squirrels, though.
So now that we're here on summer, I always do like a new sentence like that or a new topic. I go with one word. But What we're doing with the grilling this year? Is there a specific recipe that you guys is your go-to for grilling summer wild game?
Like, are we cooking for just the house, or are there people over?
Well, you made us those burgers last month.
Yeah, because if you got people over, burgers is always the go-to.
Yeah.
And like, I make a sweet burger. You've had it.
Yeah, that was a good burger.
It's pretty good. It's just brown sugar is, because I don't add fat to my burger. And I found the brown sugar kind of really helps hold it together really nice, and it gives a really good flavor. But yeah, if people at the house come over, yeah, we're doing burgers, 100%.
That's fair.
And then if we get some pigs here in a few weeks, it'll be burgers and brats.
Are you doing sausage again? But not as much, not the whole pig this time?
Well, I'm getting 2 pigs.
Oh, boy.
One of them's going to get cut up into pork chops and loins and everything. The other one's going to get sausaged.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm going to make, though. I don't know what kind.
Sausage?
Yeah. I want some Italian. I didn't get any Italian last year.
I got a whole mix of that Hungarian already.
Yeah. I still have some you gave me.
Do you?
Yeah. And then, but my problem is I'm in a pickle because last year after the pig, after my deer, my meat grinder broke.
Oh.
I need a meat grinder.
You need a meat grinder.
Like stat.
Yeah. Like our hunt's in 3 weeks.
Yeah. I might have to get in there STX Turbo Force 2000.
I don't know if you can
$69.
I don't know if you can find that one.
Nah, inflation hit him pretty hard, but you'll get it. You'll get one.
I don't even know what a good brand is right now.
Lem's a good meat.
Those are the only 2 brands that I could tell you off the top of my head. I think Cabela's has their own brand, right?
Yep, my dad has a Cabela's meat grinder. It does. Grinding a whole pig might be a little much for it, but like for doing, cutting the back straps, keeping some stuff out of a deer, and then grinding the rest, it does fine. But what is it with cheap meat grinders that just make them like? This problem is it needs to be astronomically loud and fucking annoying the whole time you use this.
the more money you pay, the quieter it is.
Yeah, it's like bows.
Yeah, right. Maybe
you can buy just the entry level bow and that thing's gonna twang, or you can buy the flagship and it's just like.
Yeah.
Same thing with meat grinders. I do want to try the meat though because I have the double grind.
Mm-hmm.
But something about a $700 meat grinder.
Yeah, that's pretty steep. If they could sponsor us, that'd be great. We have currently the old now, the Gander Mountain, since they've gone under.
Not showing your age there.
I know, right? I don't know how many deer we've put through that thing. If I were to guess, I'd say, and obviously not the whole deer, a couple whole deer. I bet you that thing has upwards of 60 or 70 deer ran through it.
Yeah. Well, you guys clean house pretty much almost every year between the 2 of you.
Yeah.
You're getting at least 5.
Well, I also split that grinder with my brother, so
yep.
he gets at least one a year.
Yeah.
And he'll take it for grind, or he'll freeze the trimmings, and then when I do a grind, I'll call him and be like, "Hey, you free this weekend? Drink some beers, grind some meat."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We got another grind party coming up. Sounds like
for the piggies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting 2. I know I don't want to, but after losing a couple of deer to a freezer going out this year, that's why I haven't had any deer legs for the podcast, because I lost all my deer legs to a bad freezer.
Well, it's like I only killed that one doe.
Yeah.
That's all the deer meat I had.
You're hurting for meat.
Yeah, because I was in the same boat this time last year, remember? Because I'd killed 2 the year before, but I shot through them so quick because I have no self-control. Once I start liking something, I want to eat it all the time. It's like Doritos.
You mean you and I both have obsessive personalities?
No.
Weird.
But
Kris, I think you do too, honestly.
I've been trying to
Bird hunting.
save.
According
Bird
to
hunting
the look your wife just gave me, you absolutely do.
Yep.
I've been trying to save the deer meat that I have. Not like I'm going to eat backstraps 4 nights this week. I'm trying to disperse it, but then even it's like, okay, I'm down to like single-digit bags of grind.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm low.
Yeah, you're getting low.
So last year I was like, I'm in a meat crisis. I need meat, and I found the pig place, and then we started going. We went there, and it worked great.
We went August last year though, which was why we're going now in June, because that was too late versus from what we had left over.
Yeah.
From the deer.
Because last year August, I was out.
Yeah.
And I usually try to be out right around mid-September. I try to make sure the freezer's fairly empty of deer. So a lot of times, like I know a couple people that like it. So usually come September, hey, I got, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'll call them up. Hey, I'm going to run some deer meat over if you want it. And they never say no. So I give them a little bit. And then that way the freezer is ready for new fresh deer. I try to eat pretty much everything I can. But like 2 is enough for me. Like I can make 2 deer last a year. For just myself.
But now having...
Yeah. Now Brooke likes it.
Yeah. And
we use the shit out of the grind for tacos, hamburgers, hamburger help, everything.
Yeah, which is the easy go-to anyways.
Yeah, especially with the 5-year-old in the house.
Yeah.
He loves tacos and pasta.
Like most 5-year-olds do. That's pretty much all he's going to eat, I'm sure.
Right. I'm still trying to figure out a way I can make a deer into a hot dog. Get him to eat the shit out of those.
I've watched some good YouTube videos.
What are you waving for?
She's saying you're at 14 minutes. She's...